Alrighty, so this is how to insert the chart for the Exploring Osmosis lab, so that second page. So you're just going to go, so this is my fake pretend data, so you must have your own data. And you're going to do as it says right here, you're going to go Insert, Chart, and it says to insert a line graph. So this is make a line graph below showing the change in mass over the 3-day period for each bear. You'll need to make sure to include a title, labeled X and Y axes with units if needed, they are, and a key or a legend. Okay, so insert, chart, line graph. And then what it's going to do is it's going to insert this random graph here. And this thing is going to pop up in the lower left-hand corner, and you're going to click on it. And it said edit sheet. So since mine just went away, all you have to do is click undo and then just do it again if you miss out on that, just like I did. So do it again, and then I won't be as slow this time, and I'm going to click edit in sheets. And it's going to open up this new Google sheet on a separate tab. And so what you're going to do is you're going to change this from saying period 1 and period 2 to the color gummy bear that you had. So I'm going to go back to my key and I'm going to look, and so I had a yellow one and then a green one. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to type in yellow gummy bear, and then I'm going to make this bigger so I can see that. And then here I'm going to put, I had, my second one was green, so I'm going to do green gummy bear. And so you would obviously do whichever color gummy bear that you had. All right, so that's going to be that, and then you're going to change these from team 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to make this one, it's going to say day 1, day 2, and day 3. So all you need to do is just select these ones and delete them. They will not be included in our graph. All right, so now we need to add in our measurements. So let's look at the yellow gummy bear for days 1, 2, and 3. So on day 1, the volume was 1.62 cubic centimeters, so I'm just going to put in 1.62. Then on day 2, my gummy bear's volume was 5.89. And then on day 3, it was 1.92. Now for the table, you do not need to include units here, but they will be included later on. All right, so now we're on our green gummy bear. All right, and it started out on day 1, it was 1.55. And then I'll add my day 2. And then my day 3. All right, so at this point you should have something that looks like this, and there should be a little key up here in the corner. It says yellow gummy bear, green gummy bear. So what you're going to do is double click on here, and if you double click on this title here, it should open up and let you edit it. So I want you to delete points scored, and I want you to title this Exploring Osmosis Lab. Nice and simple. All right, and then you can go over here and play around with some of these settings. So what I would like to do is, this is the title. You can also edit it here. You can change the font size, so if you want to make it bigger. Let's see, do you have to, yeah, so you can make it bigger or you can make it smaller. You can change the font if you'd like, up to you. I like to make it bold. And then you can make it center aligned if you'd like. You can change the color, whenever you'd like. Just don't spend too much time doing this because the analysis and the conclusion are the big parts that you want to focus on. All right, so now we need some units down here. So we have day 1, 2, and 3. We need to label our x-axis. So we're going to go over here, and you're going to select horizontal axis title. And I want you to type in time, and then in parentheses, days. Okay, and then again you can format it however you'd like. I'm just going to make it a bit bigger, maybe not 18, I'll do like 14. All right, so now we have our horizontal axis. Again, you can change the color if you want, whatever. Next up, we need to add a vertical axis title. And so our vertical axis title is going to be what we are measuring. So what was it that we were measuring in? What were our units? That's right, volume in cubic centimeters. So we'll go back here and we will put volume. And since you can't insert a little superscript 3 in here, I'm just going to put cubic centimeters like that. All right, I'll bold it again, make it a little bit bigger, and then maybe change the color. Sure, whatever you'd like to do is up to you. All right, if you want to add a subtitle, you can beneath that chart stuff. That's what it looked like right there. Whatever you'd like. Okay, so now we got that done. All right, here you can as well play around with some stuff. This will edit the legend over here. And this is just some more stuff. And then one thing that I personally want to change is I want to change these colors to represent the gummy bears. So all I did was double click right on top of that line, and I'm going to change this color. And since that's the green gummy bear, I'm going to change it and I'm going to make it green. All right, there we go, green gummy bear. And then I'm going to double click on the blue and I'm going to change that to yellow since that is my yellow gummy bear. Well, that's a little bit, is that ugly? There you go. All right. And then if you want to play around with it again some more, feel free. You can change what the line looks like. You can make it a pattern. I kind of like this for my yellow gummy bear, and you can make it less thick, more thick, whatever you'd like. One setting I would like you to click though is I want to see the data labels. So that will label each of these points, and so I want you to do it for this one, and then I want you to do it for the other one as well. There you go. So all of those data points are nice and labeled. All right, let's head back over and let's see if we are missing anything. So we have our line graph, check. We have our data showing the change in mass, check. We have a title labeled X and Y axes with our units and a key. All right, I think we might be finished. So now you'll come back over here and you're going to click on update, and it should show your new graph. Now, if you start playing around with like the dimensions of this, it'll get kind of weird. I know it's a little funky because it has this graph in the background. Just don't worry about it too much. If you want to delete this right here, go ahead, unless you want to keep it so that you never forget. But yeah, you can just format this however you'd like. Again, you can spend some more time editing it if you would like. But this looks pretty good to me.